Final hour overdrive continues. Brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Dear Hayesy-B, in about a half an hour, Ryan Smith will join us from Utah, the Utah Hockey Club, Utah Jazz.
Mammoth.
The Mammoth, yes. You're a believer that that's the direction it should
Well,
go in.
I got a bunch of tweets as soon as I said it's Mammoth and it should be Mammoth. There was a trademark an hour after the show.
Yeah. Ryan, I think, owes you a debt of gratitude for that decision.
Dude,
and that
don't
announcement.
embarrass me and say...
I won't say anything.
No.
I won't say anything. But we will ask him what the plans are from that standpoint. Team colors, the players that flew from Arizona to Utah earlier this week, how they reacted to the market, and get into a number of things with him. We're looking forward to catching up. And we got Game 4 of the Leafs-Bruins tomorrow night. You had Nylander back on the ice today, full participant in practice, speaking with the media. Matthews not practicing today. I guess he was under the weather a couple of nights ago. Like, are we concerned at all that this guy not in the mood for tomorrow night?
If it's February and it's the dog days of the season where it's like take a 3-pack of days off and get better and we don't want to see you, like this stuff is, I don't know, like you die to play. Like you're playing under any circumstances. And I did not know what was up with Willie, but it was just, I found it so frustrating, like him being on the ice, and there might have been protocol. He might have been told he couldn't play, but that's all that matters. You don't practice. All it is about the game. You're going out there and busting your ass for the game. That's it. That's what's the great thing about playoffs. You're playing 18 minutes to 22 if you're a good player. It's like that's all that matters. That's only one thing you got to do, and you got to try to beat the other team. It's such a great tournament, and I don't know, like there's no worry about that. Everyone has sick games where they're the best player on the ice.
No, I'm more concerned that he did miss morning skate, which they said they kind of were like, yeah, he's, taking his option where it was like a full morning skate. We didn't bring it up the other day. And then now it's a couple of days off. Like it's fine because bottom line is you need him tomorrow night. You don't need him. What do you care if he's shooting the puck today or skating around? He's in shape. He's fine. All of that type of stuff. I just hope and this is selfishly, I hope it is just a little bug or something. I hope it's not something physical that is, ailing him.
Right.
That they're saying, yeah, he's, not feeling well. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a broad statement too. You don't know. That could be, is his back or his groins or whatever, or it could be just a flu bug and they're not answering the questions. But anytime somebody's not there, you have to be slightly concerned. Even if it's 5%, you've got to be concerned, right?
Well, and my understanding is, when the team takes a full skate during a game day, he's always out there. Like if it is an optional, he'd probably take the option. Right. But the other day, everyone was out there but him. And yet I thought he played fine the other night, but you could see he was grinding. Like he was lethargic at times. He still, I believe, led the game in hits. Had 7 shots on goal, I think. Yeah. Like he hit the post early in the game. Mm-hmm. He had opportunities. Yet when you look at the bar he set in Game 2, he didn't meet that or exceed it in Game 3, and he's going to have to in Game 4.
Hayes, you've mentioned Austin Matthews. Nobody lights up that building like a 34 goal. 34 hits are big early.
Yep.
They love seeing that. Like when 34 just absolutely trucks someone in the corner, it's big. People are like, all right, big boy's going. Here we go. It's just it's a big thing. It's a good key to the game. He's got to establish that, and it might kind of connect him, the crowd, getting into it. Like 34 steamrolling someone is just a fantastic thing early in the game.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, all eyes are on him when he's on the ice. That's what happens with players of that stature. When you have certain guys that are superstars. McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, when they get over the boards, you can't help but track where they are, where they're going, and what they're doing, and being physical, obviously scoring a goal. I find if he's chugging through the neutral zone, the place is on edge too. It's like, all right, what's he got here? Where's he going with this? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is the lifeline of that building and of the team. Like that's what he represents. He's the leader of that group. The C is on Tavares. Tavares is obviously a prominent leader and plays a prominent role. But there's no mistaking, and it's been the case for years. Like this is his team. Like it's Matthews' team, and he is going to have to wear this one way or the other, right? Like if they get back in this series tomorrow night and end up winning this series, it's his legacy that he continues to grow upon and have opportunities to continue to grow upon. But if it doesn't break that way,
if they lose,
then it's your team if you win or if you lose. That's what comes with being the big boy. That's what comes with being the man on the marquee. Like everything's about you.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on everyone in that dressing room, and
they
know what's at stake tomorrow night. But the thing is so the Bruins. Like the Bruins are, if they smell blood, then they're going to throw their A game and try and get another one.
And likely Allmark going back in tomorrow night, which is a ballsy play, man. If they do that and they stick with that plan, that's courageous, but it sure feels like that's where they're going. All right, Dear Hayesy-B later in the hour. Our best bet still to come as well. Jays, Dodgers tonight. Ohtani in town. We don't know when he's going to speak with the media, possibly tomorrow. Maybe he won't at all. And obviously Game 4, Leafs Bruins tomorrow night. But not very often we get team owners come on. Right? We haven't had the team owners in Toronto come on anytime soon. But we're going down that road here. He is the co-founder and chairman of Smith Entertainment Group, and obviously serves as governor of the Utah Jazz, owner of the Jazz, now the owner of the Utah Hockey Club. We're not sure what the name's going to be, making his debut here on the show. There's Ryan Smith. How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing?
We're doing great. Thank you for doing this. Has the dust settled yet on being an NHL owner, bringing the team to Salt Lake and Utah? How are we feeling these days?
Not even close. Like we haven't even blinked for 2 seconds. We're just kind of trying to digest it all, and in this time frame that we've got, it's just a lot of work going on. But we're cool. We're going.
Yeah,
a lot of work.
You're moving.
Yeah.
How's it going to work, Ryan? How did you guys figure out? I think in the past there's been examples of like, let's just put a team there and see if it flies. How did you become confident that hockey's going to work in Utah?
I think Utah is just a special place, like the people and the makeup of the people. I think a lot of times, market size in today's world is kind of, for me, it's pass fail. Whether you have 5 million people or 2 million people in the same city, it actually has to do with what are these people like? What do they do? Do they actually get up and actually move? Do they get off their couches? Do they want to get outside? I'm really confident, being with the Jazz and watching that and watching how many people show up every night, and that we've sold out 291 straight nights. And then, also being a winter sports town and with the Olympics coming back and all of that, you kind of ask yourself, like, why aren't we doing hockey? Like, this is like long. And we actually also have a pretty crazy hockey history with the Golden Eagles and the Grizzlies, and like, it's amazing how many people have come through here over the years. And so it's just kind of all lining up.
I can openly admit I actually played for the Golden Eagles and the Utah Grizzlies, so I am a proud alumni, put it that way. But I was going to ask you about your experience with the Jazz. Are you going to apply that basically into the NHL model?
Yeah, I think there's definitely some learnings. I mean, we there's not many of us that around the leagues that have both under the same ownership group with the same ownership structure. And so I think we want our NHL players and our NBA players to feel like they're part of the same organization and they're treated the same. I think that was really clear, at the opening event where you had our coach Will Hardy there. You had Jordan Clarkson and Lauri Markkanen, and Lauri standing up, cheering on every Finnish player that was introduced, being from Finland and him wanting to have more Finnish people here in Salt Lake. And then also like rolling over with the whole team over to the NBA practice facility to say, hey, like, this is how we roll, this is how we operate, and this is what you can expect. And I think that if we could establish like the experience set for both players, coaches, and everything at one level across the board, I think that's a good start on how we should operate as a culture within our organization.
The players got there a couple days ago, and it's been a whirlwind for them, I'm sure, just understanding that they're relocating. When they got there, what was the one thing or the one feeling you wanted them to have to kind of ease them into it and say this is going to work and this is going to be comfortable? Is there a place that you wanted to show them, or an area, or just any kind of just idea for them to feel when they touch down in Utah?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. If you actually think about it from a player standpoint, even when we talked to him, my wife and I, we talked to him a week ago. You're walking into a room with, 70 people, and you're like, you've all been traded to Utah. I mean, what do you say? Like, how do you go through? They just finished their season. So there's really no preparation besides, like, I think the team did a pretty good job holding it all together, right, throughout. And I think that there's been a lot of uncertainty around the team. And I've always said that people they're actually extremely resilient. They can handle change well. Uncertainty takes a toll, and it takes a massive toll. And so I think the first thing we wanted to show was just like, okay, all that's done, all that's behind. And then the second thing is, like, you can either look at this and say, hey, you're moving, or you actually have a chance to write history. You have a chance to do something that's never been done. Like, if you're not looking at this as an opportunity, like, something's not registering, because you get a chance to go build out a whole new franchise that's never been done, and you get a chance to do it everything from what you care about. So I sat down and asked all the guys, like, what do you guys care about? Like, what's important to you? And by the way, if we already had an established franchise, I probably wouldn't be asking you in this detail, because you come in and kind of plug into the system. But actually, we've got to go build everything out. It'd be really cool if you just told us, so we're not creating a bunch of stuff and guessing. It's like a relationship. Just tell me, and like we'll get it right. What's incredible is they're like, hey, we really care about this, or we really care about that, or this matters. And so those are the things that we wanted to kind of show, and then show them, like, on the basketball side, like, this is what we've cared about. This is what players have cared about. This is what people cared about. Show them that, like, we get it. There's a little bit of confidence that they can have in us. And then the rest of it, I just wanted them to see the people of Utah. And boy, did Utah show up.
With Ryan Smith, who's now the new owner of the hockey team in Utah, owner of the Utah Jazz. Obviously, when you acquired the team, you acquired, contractually the players. That doesn't necessarily apply to the coaching staff, management, training staff. What is your approach to, and your message, I'm sure, to everyone else that doesn't have a players association backing them as they head to Utah?
Yeah, it's actually a really interesting transaction or deal, because we always say, hey, it's about the people. Everything's about the people you get to work with. Well, in this case, all we have, and the good news is what we do get, is the people. We really don't get anything else in this transaction, this deal. And so we want everyone to come along. And I think from a coach's standpoint and a scouting standpoint, it's pretty clear that everyone's bought into where this team's at and the future being bright. And that's the same thing I hear about from everyone in the league. Like, you've got an incredible, like, this team's going to be good. And, like, I think everyone's bought into that. And I think people want to be a part of that. And if you guys can invest in it a little bit and turn it up, it can be really cool and really fun. And so I think people really want to be a part of that. And so we want people running towards this. We know that once the dust settles, people are going to be running towards this in the NHL and running towards Utah, and the way we operate and the way we roll and what we want to do with hockey. And I think that's an exciting thing.
Did you consider, or are you considering playing a season with no name and then getting a name, or how are you going to manage that? I like the name right off the hop, but it's your team. You can do what you like. What's your plan with the name?
Yeah, I like the name right off the hop too, to be honest with you. But the problem is we literally have to do this in
2 days,
4 weeks. It's not like we can wait and roll out the name in September when we start playing. Everything's due to be able to name now.
Yeah.
But the only thing worse than not having a name is probably rushing into a name.
But there's not going to be a magical name that's going to pop up a month from now, really. There's only that.
Yeah. So look, the good news is we know that we're going to have Utah on our jersey as part of the name. We're going Utah. It's going to be Utah something. Mm-hmm. And so we've got to choose basically the secondary or the mascot. That's what we're choosing. The Utah what? And so we do have part of the name that's coming out. And so, it's not like we're deciding between Utah and Salt Lake City or something like that. It's going to be Utah. If you look at 3 of the 4 Jazz jerseys, Utah's on it. And so that's the part that we've got to do. And, we kind of want people to decide, and that'll start here in the next couple of weeks here. And then, hopefully it goes faster than we think and we're ready to go and we start plowing ahead. But this is not something that was entirely on me as well. The league definitely didn't want us to go rush in and do that part of this. They were like, hey, we want you to take your time. If you're going to go with Utah either way, let's just throw Utah on the jersey, because it's got to happen in the draft. We've got to have a jersey, everything for the draft. This is not. It's crazy. This whole thing's crazy. The time frame. There's 100 reasons why this time frame doesn't work, but there's also a bunch of resilient people who were leaning in and saying, hey, let's go do this.
Have you consulted? You talk about people and resilience. Have you consulted maybe anybody out of Vegas or out of Seattle with how they were able to build their organization and, kind of you were mentioning from ground up? Have you been talking to people throughout the league and picking their brain?
Yeah, so for sure. I had a chance actually this summer, or actually last fall, at the beginning of the fall, to head out to Climate Pledge and go through that entire arena, look at everything, look at how they had done it, how they had set it up, talked with those folks, obviously Tim Lywicki and the crew and others, and who had kind of taken on that project. And, we have a lot of people wanting to help us right now. And I think it's pretty cool how people are reaching out and saying, hey, anything we can help with, we understand this time frame. We're here for you. So it's been pretty encouraging.
With Ryan Smith, what's next then, Ryan? You're in on hockey now, NBA, soccer, the NFL, Major League Baseball. You're building a sports empire out there. What's next on the docket?
Let's just get hockey in a good spot.
Okay.
I don't even want to think about. I don't want to think about anything else. Just build the team out, get everyone comfortable, get everyone landed. I want it to be successful more than we want more teams, right? The goal is not to have a bunch of teams. The goal is to win championships and win and have winning organizations. And, I'd rather spend more time personally working on the teams that we do have than going to expand. But at the same time, the opportunities come to put hockey in Utah, and we're not going to run away from it. Let's go, let's do it. And we might need to involve a lot more people to help us get there than probably you would if you had 3 years to do an expansion.
Well, like you said, you're here now. You guys will be at the draft. It'll be go time at that point. And, we wish you nothing but success. Congrats on getting the team. We'll see how it all plays out, what the team name is. How many people are bothering you around the office, around the house, around the street saying, I got a team name for you you have to use? Like, are people constantly throwing that at you or what?
It's nonstop. I mean, especially with like ChatGPT and AI, everyone's a designer. And like, by the way, like the designs that AI is coming up with are better than any graphic designer could ever like freehand or actually create. And so like the detail's insane. Like it's better than the NHL jerseys, what they're coming up with. And so it's like every single, I mean, I don't know. I just lay off social media because it's like everyone's coming at you saying this is what you should call it. So.
Yeah, that's probably a smart
But
play.
we'll do it. We'll get down to the right one, and hopefully we'll do it quicker than sooner than later, and then get the jerseys, get everything going, or get the sweaters going. I like all of the other stuff. Like, I mean, you think about it from sticks to equipment to everything. Like everything has to be, kind of bought from fresh, like brand new. Like it's a pretty big endeavor. Not to mention the arena and everything that's set up on that side. So it's a lot of work.
Right. Well, good luck with it. Welcome to the NHL. It's going to be fun to see what you do with it out in Utah. And we really appreciate you taking time for us today. Thanks for this.
Yeah, we'll have to get you guys out.
You got it.
Work on
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
There he is,
right.
Ryan Smith. Thanks for joining us here, the co-founder and chairman of Smith Entertainment Group.
Yeah. How are we getting out there? Is he going to fly us out there?
I don't know. I mean, that
Winnebago.
sounded like an invite. Maybe if we drive
we
out
start in the fall tour. We go down to Seattle.
there. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, well, Salt Lake. Yeah, we could do that.
But wouldn't that be awesome if we showed up and you're like, you invited us? You'd be like,
Yeah,
who
hey,
the
man,
hell are
what's
you
up?
guys?
Remember us? No. All right.
Yeah.
See you later.
There's some kind of spoof there with like Ryan Smith, the hockey player, like Captain
I know.
Canada, and Ryan Smith, the owner. There's got to be there's got to be some kind of spoof there or video or I don't know. Duthie will figure it out.
There is, but man, this guy.
Interesting guy, man. I would say this: if you're from Utah, you must love this guy because he's doing
Hat
the
backwards, a lot of bank, and he just wants sports to be cool
Yeah.
and fun and winning.
I give him a lot of credit, and I mean, even accepting this invite, he's doing media all over. He doesn't have to come on in Toronto. He's like, sure, I'll dial in. What do you need? And he's selling his state. He's selling his city. He's selling his program.
Yeah.
We'll see, where it goes, how it works, if it's going to work. But I will say this: if you're the NHL, that's way better than the gong show they had in Arizona a week and a half ago.
But dude, what about that? Like just the promo of, and obviously he's starting out. But how hard was that for him to just come on, pump up his town, pump up his state, and it's like everyone else is like, "Oh, I'm not doing that show. I'm not going on." It's like you're just trying to promote the game. You're just trying to pump up your team, your fan base. That was 10 minutes of that guy's time, and I get it. He's trying to do the tour, and he's pumped up. Maybe in 2 years he'll be like, "Screw you! Don't ever call me again." But it's just not that hard. And we're on the media side, so that's our side of it. But that was just a good little pump up for Utah and good for NHL fans. We have a lot of NHL viewers watching us, so it's perfect.
It's interesting stuff too. Like
I loved it because he just seemed like a regular guy. He seemed like a guy, obviously passionate owner and that, but like he wasn't this, stuck-up guy kind of talking down to us, anything like that. It's just like, hey, I want to come on, talk about sports and talk about the team I just bought. And he was very matter of fact too. Hey, we got a lot of work to do here. I would have liked a little bit more runway, but we're gonna get it done. And it almost like. I believe him. I honestly believe that he's going to be able to pull this off, and it'd be very interesting. Like I'm happy for him.
Even saying, he'd prefer to have the name right now too. And
someone just tweeted me saying the Utah camera shakers.
Yeah, there was a lot of shake. I think that was a handheld FaceTime.
Yeah, I think he was holding
that.
it. Yeah.
There was some movement there. It's all good, man. FaceTime in. That's even better, right? Not a call. He's FaceTiming in. And
it was awesome.
Yeah, that was. It's interesting. I mean, we'll see. Again, it's considering what they just left. Arizona was a disaster with ownership turnover. This guy's not going anywhere. It's not as if I don't know if they'll win or lose. I don't know if players are going to be dying to go there. We'll see. I'm sure there's a lot of intrigue, and if you're willing to pay money, free agents will be like, you pay an extra $1, I'll come down there. But it's better than what they just had. Like, there's no question about that. And he has enough bank where he probably could have got in on expansion and been willing to do that. But he's in the dance now, right? Once you get in the club, you're in the club. And he owns the NHL team, NBA team, part owner of the soccer team, young guy with a lot of money, tech savvy.
Yeah,
we'll see. Like, Utah's a part of the team now. Like, Utah's in the dance, man. They'll be there at the draft, right? Like, I'm intrigued to see where they take it. Best Bets brought to you by FanDuel. Later in the hour, Dear Hayesy-B still to come as well. Mail-in and Fridays brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. From tip-offs to tie bites and puck drops to pizza, BP's elite lineup of apps, wings, and ice cold beer is always dialed in for game time. Also into your local BP tonight. Game 4 tomorrow night. Jays Dodgers tonight. We'll get into all that as we move forward. Dear Hayesy-B next.
Insight, the ability to see and understand why you do the things you do.
Dear Hayesy-B.
We're going to go down there and have a donkey barbecue, and I'm going to furnish the ass, right?
You don't want to hide a Mars bar in your sleeping bag when there's a bear outside the tent.
You guys know the deal. We help people, and we haven't done this in a while, have we?
No, there's a lot of people seeking help now. Like, there's buildup, right? The system is kind of overflowing here, so let's get after it.
This one's a doozy to start. It's, I don't know, Hayes. This is like maybe your error or something. Dear Hayesy-B, my father-in-law is an awesome guy, along with being a big shot banker downtown. And for the last year, he's been tagging along with me and my finance buddies on trips, Vegas, etc. Lately, he's been flooring it on these trips. Our last round of golf, he played 16 and 17 with no gear on. And he's a prominent member of the banking world. And we're afraid if the video ever gets out, there's big-time problems ahead. It's also very weird to watch your father-in-law play with no gear on. How do we go about this, and what do we do?
Well, why is there video? Again.
Well, I think the message is he's afraid one of his other buddies is going to have his phone out and say, look at this goon, so-and-so's father-in-law.
Right.
Let's throw this up on the gram and see what people think of that. And then the father-in-law is screwed.
Right, which, again, that should be rule number one whenever you're anywhere. Why are you videotaping anyone doing anything, especially if everyone's having a good time and people are doing whatever they're doing. I can't explain why anyone would gear down on a golf course at anywhere on earth. I don't care where you're playing, a private place, a public place, an all-exclusive golf mini putt course. Keep your clothes on first and foremost. That would be rule number one. But once that rule is broken, after that, no cameras. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think there's anything you can do. What are you going to do? Like, what are you going to demand everyone throws out their phone? You can't really have a conversation with a guy other than to cut him out. I mean, that's ultimately the play. We always have questions like this, and I keep saying, cut them out.
Do you say to him, like,
you're out?
I know, but can you give him the one chance where it's like tone down, like just have a good time? I know you're fired up, you're with younger guys, but when you start taking your gear off at a golf course in Vegas, it's unacceptable.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
at a minimum, not chat. But I think you go floor it all the way out to the end and say, we're not doing it anymore. Sorry. Like, I'll see you at Christmas and Thanksgiving. You and I can play every once in a while whenever you want. But if it's beyond that, can't be included. Can't be included.
I think you can give them one chance where you pull them aside after the trip and go, that can't happen again. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't need to see, the twig and berries flying around on the 17th and 18th. Like, you need to put yourself together. Like, that's
totally
the way
unnecessary.
Dear Hayesy-B, I've been a heavy drinker for 30 years. This spring I decided to pack it in and was starting to think about some things I did while being smashed. I was drunk at the club championship and decided not to record my penalty. I know my golf ball moved in the woods and I did not call it on myself. If I call myself out now and come clean, I'll have no friends and nowhere to golf. What should I do?
Wow, what a conundrum that is.
Wow.
So this guy claims he won the Club C and there was an infraction he didn't call on himself and he wants to come clean, and if he does, he's screwed.
Yeah.
No, don't come clean.
You can't come clean now. You've passed the statute of limitations on that. It's over. You can, listen, that's heavy guilt, right? Because if you're cheating, it's one thing to cheat or whatever in a regular game. The club championships, like, come on, man, it's Trump. You gotta have some integrity here. Like, everyone's playing by the rules. Like, it's a big thing at every club. You get your name up on the wall. Like, they really salute you. And the idea that this guy, and I don't buy for a second that it only happened once. I think what's really weighing on this guy is he was probably riding the Club C wave for years, pulling the Patrick Reed, right? Oh, found it. We're good.
He lies. He lies.
Exactly. This guy was Ted Cruz throughout the club championship. But the fact of the matter is, it's past. Nobody else knows. And sometimes in life there are things where it's just better if you let lying dogs rest, right? Let them
So
lay.
he's taking that to his grave?
You have to at this point, or you got to find a new place. But if you're going to have to leave the club anyway, what's the point of telling people, right? Do yourself a favor and either stop playing in the Club Cs, or the next time you play, you have to throw it. That's how you make it up to yourself. Get in the contention for the third round. Usually it's a 3-round thing. And if you're close, make sure you don't win. Do not win again, because you've already won under false pretenses. That's the only that would be your penalty. You cannot win the club championship ever again, even if you're playing great. Can't do it. But you can't tell anybody. It's too long. It's over. And people will absolutely not only hate your guts, but they'll also think you've always been doing it. It wasn't a one-time infraction. No one will think it was a one-time infraction.
Yeah, you got to lie. Unfortunately,
you just got to chew on it, man. Just keep playing.
Dear Hayesy-B, Noodles, I'd like you to go first on this.
Okay.
Because you would be familiar with transferring from Calgary. I transferred from Calgary to Toronto for school around 6 months ago, and everything has been smooth in the process. I've met nice friends over the time, landed my ideal job, and living out my childhood aspirations. Only problem? 27, and my name is Larry, and it doesn't land. It's not funny, man. Look at this guy's name.
Yep.
My name is Larry, and it doesn't land with the ladies when I venture out. I know it's an old school name for a 27-year-old, but there's not much I can do. Do I consider changing my name when I go out, or permanently?
You can call yourself Lawrence, can't you? Like,
I don't know.
Like, Lawrence is an old school. Larry, Lawrence. Like,
I think Larry's good if you say, hey, I'm Larry.
Right.
But all I can think of is it's a really old show, but Three's Company, and there was this guy Larry on that
Dallas.
show.
Larry Dallas
was just
was his
such
name.
a creepazoid. I think you go with Lawrence.
Yeah.
I think you go with Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay. Or here's the thing: does he have a nickname? Does he have a middle name that he goes by? If you're
maybe
that
Larry
upset
Bird's
about
his nickname, Bird Dog. Maybe you just say
the
I'm
Bird
Bird
Man.
Dog.
Yeah, but that's
I'm
not
Larry,
gonna
but you can
women
call
don't
me
want
this. Like,
some guy
you
with
know.
a nickname either. That's not going to fly either.
But if you have something, hey, my name's Larry, but you can call me Lawrence, or something like that. Like, to me, if his nickname or he's got something, you just kind of, if you're confident about it, who cares? Like, Larry, Gary, you name it. It doesn't matter. It's like, hey, that's my name. Like, listen, if you're a good dude, people are going to love you regardless of,
That's why I'm calling BS on this,
name.
Larry. I'm not trying to be, but sometimes you need a Kevin Dineen chat, right? O said this a couple hours ago. Which party am I going to? And Dineen stepped up and gave you the veteran chat and said,
right,
American Hockey League party, you're not in the show anymore. If you've got game,
Larry doesn't matter.
it makes no difference what your name is.
I know, but this is no
whatsoever.
disrespect to any Larrys. And if any of my friends name Larry, how many 6'2" Brad Pitt looking Larrys do you know?
I don't know. There has to be some. There's definitely some Larrys out there.
I'll invite anyone. If they got a 6'2" Brad Pitt looking Larry as a friend or colleague or uncle or whatever, send it into OverDrive and we'll post them tomorrow.
All right, yeah,
we'll have 0 picks.
What's up, Larry? I'm with you, man. But it's even beyond that. If you've got confidence, you got the abilities to get out there and talk and make people laugh. It's all good. It's all good. I don't think you're falling flat as a Larry.
I'll be honest. I know a Larry, and he's very confident. He's very cool. He's very hip. He's a sponsor of an NHL team. Like, this guy.
Look at you. All right.
Yeah. I mean, this
shout out.
Larry Tannenbaum.
Larry Tannenbaum. And my best buddy from back home, his dad's name was Larry.
Okay.
I know lots of Larrys. No, the dad, yeah. Well, of course, the dad's 70 years old or whatever it is, 75 years old. But The Larry I know from L.A. and Jersey, like this guy is early 30s, and he's got it going on. So it's how you conduct yourself.
That's right.
That's behind the
Come
name
on, Larry.
That's what it is.
Let's get Larry back in the game here. Get over the boards, Larry, and dump and chase, and go do your thing. Come on, Larry.
Yeah.
Big weekend for you.
So you're going to the grave with, it doesn't matter if you've got game. Larry is a non-factor.
Yes, I don't think Larry. I don't think so. I mean, if you got your stuff together and you're out there and you're oozing confidence and you're cracking jokes and everyone's having a good time, I don't think anyone's saying,
"Oh, really?
Really, I'm
what
a big
if she
fan,
goes to her 27-year-old friend group and says, met a new guy, and it's a Kardashian type of gathering, and they go, "Oh yeah, who is he? Larry from Calgary." Dude, you got serious problems.
That's not true.
Dude, I'm telling you, if it's a Kardashian type of gathering, and you say it's Larry from Calgary, they're going to say, we need to see this cat immediately.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Well, then at that point, it's on Larry to bring his A game. I mean, once you get called to the carpet, Larry better be ready to rock. I mean, there's no other way around it.
He's got to be confident.
He'll be fine. I got faith in Larry. I got faith in Larry from Calgary. All right, what else we got?
Dear Hayesy-B, going down to a ball game in San Diego in June with my girl to see her A's play my Padres. First MLB game for me, second for her. She's adamant that if she catches a ball, she will be keeping it and not handing it to a kid. Says it's because says she's come a long distance to see her favorite team and not sure if she'd get to see them again. She's also insistent on having a ball glove ready to go, which I know you boys don't like hearing. Agree with her reasoning, not keeping the ball, not giving it to a kid, and the glove.
Well,
dude, you got to let her take the glove and keep the ball. Who cares?
Listen, the glove, personally, I wouldn't be glove guy. I will say I've got young kids. If they wanted me to bring a glove, I would bring a glove. Like if they were adamant, I would do anything to make them feel like, all right, we're in the game. But I'm not glove guy. If I'm going down with my wife or in the past or buddies or whatever, glove guy, I find that obscene behavior at a ball game. But I can't speak for her. I will say I think it's even more ridiculous that we forget Larry from Calgary. We have someone writing in who's an Oakland A's fan.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think they existed. Yeah, I mean Larry from Calgary at 27, that is nowhere near as outlandish as an Oakland A's fan.
Wow.
But I think this is a scenario where it's easy to talk a big game before you get there. If you're standing, because you don't know who's sitting beside you, right? At this point, you know you have two seats. I would assume if they're bringing a glove and trying to catch a ball, probably in left field, right field, something like that. You got to be in the alley thinking that maybe you can get your hands on one. It's easy to say, I'm not doing anything. I caught the ball and I'm keeping the ball until there is a 7-year-old kid beside you who is crying because you won't hand them the ball. And I challenge.
Here's a warning, Hazy. If you get caught on camera being the person that refuses to give the kid a ball, you'll get torched and you'll go viral. And
you're done.
You might get fired because people will hate your guts.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. You're not. You can talk a big game, but it's not going to happen. And I appreciate that. You want to go catch a ball. You're a big fan. Also, you're presuming it's off the Oakland Athletics bat. I mean, what if a Padre hits the home run? Then what? Is it still meaning? Does it still have the same meaning? But you can say whatever you want. I'm telling you, when you get down there, if there's a kid around you and they want that ball, go ahead. See what happens because you're going viral. That's the immediately viral. Here's a woman that would not hand the ball over to a 7-year-old kid.
Yeah, you're
not getting away with that.
To the kid. Yeah,
There's
you
no
got to
way.
give the ball. Yeah, for sure.
It's mandatory.
Dear Hayesy-B, golf season is back, and my go-to golf buddy says he's on the fence this season because of a bum shoulder. How do I convince him to play? And if he won't, how do I find a new go-to golf guy? Rob in St. Catharines.
That is an absolute nightmare situation.
Robbie, you got to do it. It's a nightmare for everyone, but you got to be the single on the tee saying, hey, you want to tee it? And you got to make somebody else chew on it and be a good guy and hope they like you. Mm-hmm. It's the only way out of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's if because we see this, you see it all the time at different courses where if there's a 2-pack, they will be playing together every single day.
Oh man, is there golf buddies out there like There's guys that have been playing for 50 years at the same tee time every weekend.
Every single weekend, you're right. They got the 8:20 every Saturday, the 8:20 every Sunday. It's the same guys.
Yeah.
And if you have your guy and you love to play 2-3 times a week, and it's you and your buddy, and you need that guy because you don't care who else is there. You'll go out as a twosome, and you'll still have a great time. Maybe there'll be a third or a fourth, but it's all good. But if he might pull the shoot on you, that's terrifying. That is a terrifying proposition because that's the guy you can always rely on to send you the text saying you want to tee it. Or I got us a tee time. I'll be there. You want to play 36. You want to get in on this tourney. You want to get on that. You lose that guy, man. That is a shock to the system. It's not like you're throwing away your season, but I don't know how you proactively. This is a real issue, I think, for men in particular.
It is because they get comfortable and they're like, I don't want to just get a new golf buddy.
Right.
It's
you don't want to bother people.
It's like their chew toy.
Right. And you jump into a tee time and you don't know who you're meeting. And if they have their thing and you're on the outs and it's like, didn't work. And then what do you do on 18? Shake hands and say, hey, do you want to play again? Here's my number. Like, it's really an awkward scene.
Oh, it's sad.
There needs to be some app here. There's apps for everything else. Why isn't there a Golf Buddy app?
Golf Buddy app. Say,
Golf Buddy app.
Yeah, hey, I'm a single going to this course, and you got to have some kind of bio where people understand you're not some creepazoid.
Exactly. Larry from Calgary, swipe left. Sorry, we're not
that's
playing.
That's what it is. It's like a golf dating
app.
But
imagine getting on the first tee and you got
one.
Chip Douglas teeing it up and you've got a nightmare on your hands the rest of your life. Who the hell would There's got to be some way to protect yourself from Chip Douglas.
Yeah, there's got to be, like, you got to shoot video. Okay, let me see the swing. What's your handicap?
You need testimonials from other friends,
Do you
other
have iron
golf
covers?
courses.
Do you have iron covers?
There's a whole checklist. Do you blow darts? Are you a drunk? Or anything. Because you got to know everything about that guy.
You guys, we should create an app. That would be awesome. Just with the bullet points of, like, what you'd like to see in your partner, your golfing partner.
Right.
And you're right. Like, do you blow darts? Do you use a cart? Are you lazy?
Gamble?
Do you like to talk?
Do you gamble? Do you
drink
hammer
beer?
pints?
Like,
anything. I need to know what you do out there.
Yeah.
Food choice, everything. Like, you name it.
Everything. You're right, man. I'm telling you, that's I think a world-class idea we are personally coming up with right now. Like, we need royalties on this because you could apply this to everything. Going to sporting events. Hey, my buddy dropped out. I got a loose ticket. I'm looking to find someone who's out there. Send me what's your routine at the game? Are you a face paint guy, jersey guy? Are you yelling obscenities at people?
Yeah.
Like, where are we at? Where are we at? Let me know.
Because there's all kinds of goon squad videos on the golf course out there where people are hitting into other people in fights and yelling and screaming. It's a crazy world out there.
That's
man.
another one right there. Do you wait for a par 5 to clear and then top your 3-wood every time?
Yeah.
Swiping left. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right. Let's bring people together. I think that's what we did today. And
There we go.
think we need to continue to do that into the future.
And Larry, you just keep doing your thing.
Come on, Larry. We're pulling for you.
Yeah,
We're pulling
it's
for
our
you.
guy.
Come on, Larry. Don't forget, TSN 1050 wants to put passionate Leaf fans in the stands to see Leafs Bruins in round 1, pending the results of Game 4 and 5. We're already there. That's how quickly it happens. Pending the results, we could have a pair of Game 6 tickets to give away. So be sure to listen to TSN 1050 next week to find out. Come back with our best bets brought to you by FanDuel. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
Quickly, fellas, this is a sports show. I want to show you an unbelievable volleyball play. Joe from the Bridge rolled the tape. Watch this. This is altitude volleyball from Collingwood, Ontario. There's the serve, and watch the put-away point, because the put-away point is key. That's Ireland O'Neill at the tournament in Ottawa with the put-away point.
Oh,
Yes.
Who's ever on SportsCenter tonight, give that clip some love, please. Ireland O'Neill, great job. Sister Charlie with the little setup, awesome.
Oh, teammates, look at that.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? They get along. They don't argue. They're always high-fiving. They're like best friends on the volleyball court. Because I thought it was going to be a nightmare where it's like, you know what that can be like as siblings.
Of course. Okay, there you go. I love it. That's
Altitude, 3-0. Great job, girls. Keep it going in Ottawa.
Shout out. Keep rocking in the nation's capital. We love that. I wish I could maybe make a best bet on that. I'm not going to, though, but today's best bets are powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Dodgers money line. Freddie Freeman 2+ hits tonight. Ohtani RBI. I generally lean towards the home teams. I just don't like where the Jays are at.
Vladdy snap out of it this weekend?
He better soon. I mean, they've lost 3 in a row. They're 500. Dodgers have won 4 in a row. They're coming in hot. I think it's a tough spot because of the rain out, the delay getting home yesterday. Dodgers money line, Freddie Freeman, 2+ hits, Shohei with an RBI. Today's best bets powered by FanDuel. FanDuel's goal in the first 10 minutes is the most electric bet in hockey and can be included in a same-game parlay on any NHL game. Please play responsibly, 19+ and physically located in Ontario. All right, Game 4 tomorrow night. Let's see what the Leafs are made of, right? Let's see what they're made of. Jays, Dodgers all weekend. We've got a lot cooking, and the NFL draft continues as well. So it's going to be a fun one and a lot to break down on Monday. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate all of the help as always. Everyone for tuning in, TV, radio, podcast, web, we appreciate that. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy your weekends. We're back Monday at...
Your name was Larry, and you changed it to Brian, didn't you? 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.